Alright, good morning everybody. It is July 18th, 2018. Today, I'm going to be doing an update over Kilauea and Mauna Loa. I have the most recent status report. I have the INSARs. We're going to be looking at a couple different pictures, some of the monitors. So we'll go ahead and jump into this. I'm going to read Tuesday's report, July 17th. A lot of this is going to be over the eastern rift zone, where Fissure 8 is located. So, Fissure 8 continues to erupt lava into a perched channel leading northeastward from this vent. Surging was noted at the Fissure 8 cone during the overflight, but it had stopped by the time ground crews arrived to verify it. Lava in the channel is a bit lower this morning, and there were no significant overflows. The southern margin of the flow was located about 750 meters or 0.5 miles from the boat ramp at Isaac Hale Park this morning. Despite no visible surface connection to the Fissure 8 channel, lava continues to ooze out at several points on the 6-kilometer, 3.7 mile wide flow front into the ocean. No other fissures are active this morning. Okay, so that's the most recent report that's been given to us. So I'll read the, and there's one more about, this is about the Kilauea volcano summit. Seismicity has increased and has been the pattern leading up to the collapse/explosion events beneath the summit. The last event occurred at 11:42 a.m. July 16th with energy equivalent to a magnitude 5.3 earthquake. We expect a high rate of earthquakes around 25 to 35 per hour to continue until the next collapse/explosion event occurs later on today. Inward sloping of the rim and walls of Mauna continues in response of the ongoing subsidence at the summit. Sulfur dioxide emissions from the volcano's summit are very low. The gas and minor amounts of ash have resuspended by wind are being transported downwind. Small bursts of ash and gas may coincide with the summit/collapse explosion events. The summit region is occasionally impacted by sulfur dioxide from the lower east rift zone eruption. Okay. So, I'm going to add on to this a little bit. I watched, there was a USGS report, basically just giving over the past 80 days since the Kilauea first started erupting in May 4th when we had that big earthquake. So, one thing I'm going to give you guys, so this right now, as of today, is the largest collapse event they've had in Hawaii in the past 200 years. It's also the highest eruption rate ever recorded at Kilauea. And it's also the highest sulfur dioxide output recorded at Kilauea. At the lower east rift zone, it's the most voluminous eruption in 200 years. As well, okay, so I'm going to give you a kind of compare and contrast. So, the 1840 eruption, lasting about 26 days, produced 205 million cubic meters of material. So, as of 2018, July 18th, it's been 80 days since this has happened. Kilauea in the lower east rift zone has put out 450 million cubic meters, and that's over 80 days. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move on. This is where the lava flows are at currently. Pull it down a little bit. So Fissure 8 is right here. Leilani Estates is right here. The ocean entry is right down here. Pretty wide. There's a better view for you. Okay, now, I had mentioned yesterday, I don't know if you guys watched my Yellowstone video, but I mentioned I was going to do the INSARs for Kilauea, and that is what we're going to do today. This is just going to give you kind of an entry of what, who provides this information to us. I already have the two most recent INSAR images pulled up. This is for, actually let me scroll down and make sure I can tell you the correct date. Oops. I'm using my laptop, by the way. I always record my videos on my desktop, but right now I'm using my laptop. So the image I have pulled from that I'm about to show you are from July 10th to July 16th. Okay? So here we are. This is the first one. If you don't know how to read these, let me tell you real quick. The darker the blue means it's falling or it's moving west from the satellite. Or now if it's red, the darker the red, it means it's rising or it's moving east. That's what this image represents. So take a look. This down here, this whole right here area is known as Helena. Here's Kilauea. The Helena fault system is located right here. Mauna Loa is right here. Now I made a video a couple days ago that was labeled the Elika event. Elika, and where it happened was right here. So, and also I played a clip that there was a mega disasters video. They were worried about the western flank, which is right here, where the Elika event had occurred, slumping off and falling into the ocean again. So we're going to start keeping track of how much this area over here is falling and rising as well, because I have been keeping my eye on the Helena, because this moved by 2 feet in May when we had the earthquake, and in my opinion it still has a higher probability of failing and collapsing into the ocean than over here on Mauna Loa's western flank. But that if an eruption occurs at Mauna Loa and a bigger enough earthquake occurs, something may happen over here. But for the time being, most of the action and most people are still keeping their eye on Helena, and you should as well. So as from this monitor, from what we see, there hasn't been much ground, so it's either moved to the west or it's dropped about 25 millimeters down here in Helena. Down here as well over by, I believe this is Vacation Land, or what did they have marked as? Vacation Land, Hawaii. So we'll switch over to the next one. This one indicates ground motion, so about purple is almost stationary, and red is ground motion. And again, Mauna Loa is here, Kilauea is here, Helena right here, and there's the other place. This isn't known as Helena. It stops like right here, and then it becomes another. I don't know the name of this, unfortunately, off the top of my head, but this over here, all this coastline essentially below Kilauea is all known as Helena. We have almost, so all this right here is essentially stationary. We have a little bit of movement in and around Mauna Loa. We have more around the actual crater. We did have an earthquake down here, and we're continuing to have earthquakes. I have the actual USG monitoring map pulled up as well that we'll start going over. Here we are. Now, the first thing I'm going to go over is I'm going to show the pictures that are provided, because they're usually up to date and they give some pretty decent images of what's going on down below. Give me one moment. As I said, it's my laptop is it's better than my desktop some days, but other days it's not. I spilt chicken noodle soup on my keyboard on my desktop, and I haven't bought a new keyboard, so that's the reason I'm not streaming from my desktop. Well, unfortunately, I forgot it's nighttime right now over Hawaii, so all these cameras are going to be dark. So we'll just go ahead and skip that. So one thing I've tried to bring to your guys' attention: keep an eye on gas emissions. Gas emissions are typically from where the lava underneath it starts. The lava gives off gas. So the closer the lava is below the surface, it starts fracturing the ground below it, and the gas starts escaping. And so it's just kind of a telltale sign of what's going on below. Typically, that's what the gas emissions represent. Most of these tilt meters and monitors are completely out because all of these have been, most of these have been destroyed due to the actual collapse. You can kind of see in this image this little hole right here. This actually used to be the main crater, and then the outside of here was known as the Greater Caldera, and it said all this is falling in on itself. If I can pull this back a little bit. Okay, we'll check the tilt meters out here. Nothing like it was prior, so it actually doesn't look too bad at all. I was really worried about, because I noticed this was failing for a little bit, and I didn't know if it was actually going to collapse in with the Greater Caldera, but the distance between is just too great in my opinion. I feel like this may or may not be impacted at all. Let's just back up a little bit. We'll see if there's any tilt meters down here in Helena. We can check the charts as well. This one may be out. Yeah, it's out. It said so. That's one thing you want to keep track on. If you're doing your own research, make sure you check the dates. If it's not up to date, it's not worth looking at. Let's back it up. Well, that's why I provide INSAR, because even when I've used the GPS are all out. Almost every single one of these are going to be out. So, or if they're not out, they're dated. You know, you can't use it anyways because they're outdated. So, what's this? Yeah, see, May 2018. So, we'll just go ahead and get past this. I'll move over towards Mauna Loa. And a lot of Mauna Loa as well, the tilt meters aren't working. Take off my GPS real quick. There we go. This one's looking good. So it's tilting almost all the way up. So on second or third, it got up to almost 120 microrads of tilt. And if there's something going on there, I mean, I don't know. I wish I had a yearly track to look back and see what a normal day of Mauna Loa looks like with no activity, because it's hard to say there's not activity going on there now when we've had 2 or 3 direct earthquakes in Mauna Loa's crater. So it's just kind of hard to say there's not activity going on there now. So it just depends of how much activity and what's really building up. Is there pressure building up? Is it being released? I had done a video, like I said, maybe a week ago, saying that it is possible, and it did happen during the 1980 eruption, that Kilauea and Mauna Loa erupted together. And they also said Hawaiian up here, the other volcano, could erupt as well. Now it's never happened where all 3 have went, but it's not like it's out of the possibility of it could happen. There's still a probability. Down here is Loihi. It hasn't been, like I said, I don't know why it's not marked. On Volcano Discovery, this is marked as an orange volcano. It is marked as 1 step away from being eruptive state. But on the USGS, it's not even marked as an even active volcano. But that's just, you know, something I should bring to your attention so you know about it. Now, I'm about to wrap this video up. I've got about everything I wanted out. I'm going to do another video tonight over Yellowstone. Either tonight or tomorrow. But I will definitely have a video coming out soon. I do appreciate you guys very much, and just please like, share if you don't mind, and comment below if you have anything. If there's anything, if you can find some new monitors that I should be maybe looking at that I'm not seeing, please provide them to me. I'm always happy when I see new stuff. But other than that, guys, have a great day.